All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this first live stream in some time. But we're back, all right, and we're back at a good time because we just got a good move here on Bitcoin. High volume move. We'll talk about that. Can I try again? I should be live, right? Am I live right now? I just got an error message from YouTube, but I think it's working. I mean, it seems like it's working. But good timing, like I said, because Bitcoin just got a high volume move. Let me quickly post everywhere that we are live so that everybody knows and everybody can tune in if they forgot. I posted the announcement not too long ago, so I don't expect too many people, but everybody that's here, first of all, welcome, and you're very much appreciated. But let me quickly say that we're live. So how's everyone doing? How is this market been treating you? It's a little bit of a tough market to trade at this point in time, huh? I think so, at least, or at least I'm not trading much. I mean, last week I do have some longer term positions, and last week I opened a position as well, but I closed it at entry. Like I'm not sure, but a couple of hours like after I opened it, I already closed it. Because the market circumstances just really did not seem great to trade. And even though it looked like a good trade technically, I'll show you in a moment the trade that I'm talking about. But even though it looked like a good trade technically, you know, if the market circumstances are bad, I mean, can you still trade? Can you still trust technically good setups? Not always. So that's why I closed. Let me turn off that light real quick and live now. Okay, I posted it everywhere. Let's turn off Telegram, turn off Discord, turn off X right there, and we're live streaming. Okay, 75 viewers. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? The Mr. King, you were very early. My time for the marathon was very bad. I ran it in 4 hours and 45 minutes. Which was, well, I mean, I did not have a set goal in terms of time. It's a decent time. I mean, I ran it. I only walked when drinking water, etc. But ultimately, for my next one, I'm aiming for sub 4 hours, right? So that's 45 minutes quicker. That's a better time. I mean, there's quite a lot of people like with some good training. You can do a sub 3 hour marathon. That's very impressive. 4 hours and 45 minutes. A little bit slow, but it was nice. Glenn, welcome to the stream. We'll take a look at Avantis in a moment. I do have some thoughts on that. Bus, welcome to the stream. AH Sai, welcome to the stream. MSC, welcome. Hugo Boss, the real one in our stream. It can't get any crazier. But welcome, BNB, welcome to the stream. Nick, welcome to the stream. G7Z, Boris, welcome to the stream. How are you, man? It's Mark, welcome to the stream. And Kanoi, welcome to the stream as well. This year, Kanoi, believe it or not, but I don't have anything planned for ADA yet. Unfortunately, I've been going for years, but it's I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm getting too old, which I don't think so. But there's been nothing this year, or I've planned nothing with friends this year, so maybe last minute. But for now, no. Are you going? Which events are good this year, or is it just the standard events again? Dahil, welcome to the stream. Hamid, welcome to the stream. Arnold, Sam Chen, welcome to the stream. Jake Maiden, it's not a very Dutch name, Jake. Or should I pronounce it the Dutch way? Mr. Breibroiki, also in the chat. What's up, man? How are you? Awakenings. Yeah, Awakenings is a classic. I've never been to Oh, I have been to Awakenings. In the Wester Park, I think 6 years ago. It was quite good. In the dome. It's quite a good party. During ADA as well. No, Boris, I'm not getting too old. Please don't say that to me. I'll start to believe it. Some Chen holding Bitcoin minimally. I should be holding more Bitcoin. I am holding some Bitcoin. I'm mostly holding Bitcoin on... Oh, wow. Blurry. Very blurry. I'm mostly holding Bitcoin in wrapped versions, right? So then I hold it on certain networks, farming for an airdrop or something. It's just an easy way to farm for an airdrop. If there's some sort of a DeFi protocol or some sort of a new blockchain that I want to farm the airdrop for example, the Hyper EVM, then I'll just buy some wrapped Bitcoin. It's quite stable, and I'll lock that up, or I LP on it. Now I don't LP on it, but I lock that up most of the time. What's up, Alex? Welcome to the stream. Let me see. Bradley, I don't know. BYDFi. It's I haven't. I know the exchange, but it's not very major, right? The Kama Sutra Burs. That seems great as well. Is that a party during ADA? We'll talk about some charts in a moment, guys. Don't worry. We have time. First, welcome everybody checking out the chat real quick. Where do you live, Jake? Which part of the city? Have you ever seen me in the city? It is a possibility. I'm out and about quite often. Yeah, we'll take a look at XRP. So far on the list of coins we're going to look at. Let me put it on the chart right here. We're going to take a look at Avantis. I covered that this morning as well. We'll take a look at XRP. Although I must say I covered XRP in my middle of the day market update, and not much is going on at this point of time. We'll take a look at AVAX. And I also, I mean, in the meanwhile, I'm also just going to, we're not only going to do requests, all right? If anything interesting is happening in the markets, we'll talk about that. I think that's most important for all of you as well. But at this point of time, there's nothing major going on. I mean, US home prices edge higher. Okay, some OnlyFans data coming out. Okay, I don't care about that. But Bitcoin, nice move. All right, Bitcoin got a high volume move right here. 30 minutes into the NYO, above the 7-day rolling VWAP, high volume. The one thing that I don't necessarily like about this move is the fact that the point of control, so that's that little blue stripe, is towards the end of the candle. So that's where most of the volume has been traded. Usually when that's towards the end of the candle or towards the upper wick, that means that it's a little bit of a liquidation spike. So now price should close above that. And that's not what we're doing yet. I mean, the volume was quite high during that last candle, but now the volume is quite low. So we'll see, but this is a good move, right? And if you look at the 12-hour time frame, this looks fine. I mean, is this bullish? I don't know, not yet maybe, but it's also definitely not bearish. It's kind of neutral, and neutral is fine. But neutral in this case, I mean, we'll talk about some altcoins in a moment, and we'll talk about, and obviously I'll go over some of your requests, but there's not a lot of altcoins right now that I think, oh, that's very interesting, or oh, that's what I want to buy. Sign is quite strong right now. Sign got an investment of about $25 million by Binance. So things like that are still moving, and things like that are definitely opportunities, but it's like the amount of opportunities right now compared to September is much lower, which just makes it more difficult, but there are still opportunities. Definitely. Kinkerstraat, that's it's a good neighborhood. I used to live relatively close to that, or at least I used to be there quite often. I like 5 years ago, I actually worked in the food hall as well, so that's quite fun. Oh, there, Tenkatemark, that's right there. I used to work there. I used to always go to the Febo there in my breaks. What's up? Welcome to the stream, Maurits. Great to have you here. Okay, we'll add to the list. I saw a couple of coins requested. Prashanto, welcome to the stream. How are you, man? ZBCN, we'll talk about that. I actually saw quite a lot of people requesting that. Aster, we'll talk about that as well. Jasmine at this point of time, not much is going on. So I would love to talk about that. I mean, there's quite a lot of interesting things going on in Japan right now, which makes me think, okay, interesting things happening in Japan. The Nikkei index is doing very, very good. But I just don't see the volume. I just don't see the momentum for Jasmine at this point of time to justify entering it or justifying, talking about that very much. No, Jake, I live in the east, a little bit further away right now, but I've moved through the city quite often in the last couple of years. But now I'm a little bit more settled in one place. Well, Stable is doing great. I saw Stable first on Monday yesterday. This is looking more and more like a buy. Solid project as well, to be fair. Pengu, we can talk about that. Bitcoin, yeah, we'll start off with Bitcoin. Eiberg is good as well. It's a little bit more quiet. You got some nature more closer by. Mohammed, advice for new traders. It's always difficult, of course, but it depends on how new of a trader you are. If you're very new, learn about risk management, right? Learn about how to accurately size your position. But if you know that, I would say just learn everything that's out there. Learn about order flow, learn about TPO, learn about the traditional indicators, and just start testing a system. If you're testing a system and you're back testing it and you see a lot of price data, right? If you go back in time, right? So if you go to TradingView right now, and if I delete this, you can actually see this feature here to the upside, replay. You can just go back in time, and if you think of a strategy and you start testing it right here, the strategy may not work, but you actually see price action. And the more price action you see, the more you get knowledgeable about how price moves, and the more you actually the more experience you get with the markets, which is only good. Even if the strategy that you're testing, which I think you should always test the strategy. First test the strategy, and then, if you become a better trader, you don't always necessarily need a strategy. But first of all, I would also always have some sort of a strategy and spot trading outside of that. I think spot in crypto is still feasible, right? I mean, when we're talking about Bitcoin, for example, I think Bitcoin 200,000, right? So $200,000 for one Bitcoin. I still think that's programmed. I still think Ethereum goes higher. So invest spot and invest time in trading, backtesting, formulating strategies, etc. We'll get to the analysis very quickly because right now we're just talking, but that's good as well. Tau, we'll talk about Tau as well. We'll make a quick list and then we'll just go off of the list. And in the meanwhile, if there's some comments. If there's some comments coming in, we'll talk about that. Gigatech, altcoin season, I don't know. I agree in terms of I don't think all altcoins will rally. I do still think we'll have some good price action. Okay, but let's start off with Avantis. So I'll try to make it interesting for all of you, right? We'll talk about some opportunities. So even if you're not interested in Avantis, this will still be relevant for you. Avantis had some high volume over the course of yesterday going into today. I said this morning in the video update I said I think we need to get a strong reaction at 60 and 58 cents. So far, we've not been able to do so. All right, so far, I will be slightly cautious on Avantis. The only reason why I still do care about this and I still think, maybe there's a possibility this will rally, is because the volume is still quite high. All right, it's still quite high, and we still have the support right here at 55 cents. So at this point of time, I don't think this is an interesting buy. But if you look at the lower time frames, if we're able to get some new open interest in the price, if we're able to get some new volume in the price, I do think it gets interesting, right? So for example, let's take if we get a good reaction here at 55 cents. And we reclaim this level at 60 cents, which is around the 7-day rolling VWAP, I think it gets interesting. But for now, I would be a little bit cautious. It seems a little too much like just a short liquidation and some sort of a position exit by whales rather than a genuine move. And a genuine move is what you want to trade, right? That's always what you want. So those are my thoughts on Julian. Welcome to the stream. Johnny, welcome to the stream. Blue Sky, welcome to the stream. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? But those are my thoughts on Avantis for now. But it's definitely a coin I'm watching. It's definitely a coin I think you have to on your watch list. Now, when we're talking about XRP, I know a lot of you care about XRP, but at this point of time, I just don't have a lot on XRP. It's so low volume. I mean, you can see the volume right here. Yesterday, but also today, the volume is just so low. We're near the point of control. And this has been a point of control. So this has been the highest traded level in terms of volume since January. All right. So it's a super strong point of control. And the price tends to gravitate towards the point of control. And that's where we are right now. And there's no momentum or no volume to suggest that we're going to break out or break into one of the two directions. So I think XRP is just going to be incredibly stable. It's boring. I know it's boring, but I think it's the truth. All right. And I think I'm obliged to tell you the truth. So XRP, I would love to talk a lot about that. And we can talk a lot about the fundamentals. But there's not much to say regarding the short-term technicals right now, which I assume that you're most interested in. And honestly, I think if I would have loved to talk about the fundamentals for XRP, I would have to do that in a video and prepare a little bit more for that. AVAX. So AVAX right now, it's been very strong, of course, over the course of September. We had some beautiful moves. Was a great time to cover AVAX. At this point of time, looking at the 3-day time frame, I think we're very close to some strong support right here. Around the area between $19 and $17.5, we have very strong support on AVAX. I think it's definitely an opportunity there, given how altcoins in general look right now, but also given the imbalances we have to the upside, right? And if you zoom out right here on AVAX, you can see that we're basically in this major consolidation, and the major consolidation is mostly between this level right here at $18. Let's simplify that a little bit. Between $18 and then $30. And right now we're at the bottom of that range. And I don't, at this point of time, see a clear reason why we would drop down below that bottom. So that makes AVAX interesting on the higher time frames. On the lower time frames, I don't see a lot to be happy about, right? Something, for example, something minor that I would love to see is you see this, you see this minor key level right here. Reclaim this, reclaim that, and I'll be a little bit more positive. Right now on AVAX, I think it's more likely that it's 1, going to move together with Bitcoin, and 2, I think it's a little bit more likely we'll push down into that level at $18 before we have a real chance to move up. Those are my thoughts on AVAX. We're coming through the list. Yeah, PComs, that's true. It's true. We're always looking for bullish catalysts. The merger of Arrow. No, I haven't. HNT. I'll go over some of the interesting analysis requests that I see. I mean, something like Zora, for example, it's quite interesting. Shorting Xpin, Gaeton. I wouldn't do it. It's so volatile. It seems to be manipulated to a certain extent as well. I don't know. But okay, quick check on the markets right here. This is good continuation, all right? This is good continuation in the markets. I'm not sure how the fundamentals are doing at this point of time. Pretty good as well. This is the S&P 500. It pushed down a little bit over the course of the opening today, but ultimately we saw a good continuation. It seems, or at least it feels like we got some news, because the Bitcoin is pushing up quite nicely here. Like the key level that we spoke about earlier today was 109,000.2. We've been able to break above that with Bitcoin, and then we had a very high volume candle right here. So that's the light blue candle. And now we're also pushing above a critical level at 110.2, while the volatility index is dropping down. So unrest is decreasing in the markets, and Bitcoin is doing good. Did we get some news? Yes or no? Yeah, Sui, I made a video on that this morning, Case and Mohammed. No, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed for now. Spot gold extends losses. So it seems like unrest in the world is decreasing. But it doesn't seem like we're getting a lot of news for that. Still good. I mean, I won't complain. Definitely not. But okay, let's get through the list. So CBCN, I saw that this had some momentum over the course of the last month or so. But this chart is just not interesting enough, right? So this is, I mean, for those of you who want to follow, this is the name of the coin. you can see that there have been times that we try to break out, but the fact that a breakout above a trend line like this doesn't really mean something, means that the structure is different, right? So the structure very much is a consolidation. Right now we are at the bottom of the consolidation. So in that sense, I would say right now, if you fundamentally like this project, it's a good entry. But for me as a trader or a short to medium term holder, I don't see enough momentum to justify an entry right here. I would say it's most likely that, you know, with bad news, we'll push down a little bit lower. We'll find support and get back to that level right here at 0.0042. Right now, it seems, because of the market circumstances, it seems a little bit more likely that we will bounce, right? So the fact that I'm not interested in that doesn't mean I'm bearish. I do think it's most likely we'll bounce and stay within this range, but I don't see enough evidence right now to expect a breakout without that range. You'd need to have some sort of, you know, momentum build up, and that can be leveraged. That can be fundamental as well, right? And some of you, or some, I know this project has a very strong community, so some people there will probably say, well, fundamentally it's an amazing project, so we're building that up. But as long as that's not reflected in the price, then it's not really happening. I mean, CBCN over the course of this year, if you take a look at like since earlier this April, it's still up about 300%. There's not a huge amount of coins that can say that, right? So it could also just take some time still for those fundamentals to facilitate another rally. And while we're doing these analysis, by the way, Bitcoin is putting in some good price action. I mean, if we take a look at Bitcoin right here, the next key level we have to break above is this level right here at 111,000. If we are able to reclaim 111,000 for Bitcoin with relatively high volume, at least on the 4-hour time frame, we have reclaimed back into the range. And then I'm talking about this range right here, right? And if we have reclaimed back into this range, then that means that the next target, there's major resistance at 114, but that means that the next price target afterwards would be right here at 117.5. So we're covering other coins right now, but the price action that's ongoing right now is actually not bad. It's actually pretty good. The volume is also very, very convincing. We're leaving imbalances here to the downside, but that's not necessarily a problem. I mean, a lot of strong moves start with an imbalance to the downside that just never gets filled, or it gets filled months later. That's fine. Imbalances are, first of all, you know, prices that tend to get filled again, but second of all, they're also indications of strength. And in this case, it seems to be an indication of strength, since it's also backed by some fundamental moves. But okay, yeah, O-House, the sentiment, yeah, I'll cover Pengu in a moment, and Plasma as well. No, Jasmine will not hit $1. There's been too much token inflation, but we'll cover Pengu and O-House about XCN. I thought that you added the comment. I thought you said CBCN, but no, I mean, look, CBCN and XCN. So that's Chain or Onyx coin at this point of time. They're very similar, right? Had very strong communities, had massive rallies. And right now the community, or at least the crypto industry, is very, very divided about those. I mean, they're still, you know, super believers, super supporters for Onyx coin. Same thing with Zebek network, which is CBCN. But it's very mixed, right? So you have 50% that's still incredibly enthusiastic about the project. And then and then there's 50% that's incredibly bearish about the project. So we'll add Pengu and we'll add XPL to the list. Price action is still pretty convincing on Bitcoin right now. So I'll just I'll keep you updated on the markets as we go right here. Aster, I have my thoughts set out for Aster. Downtrend. All right, this is a downtrend. Set a price alert at 1.25. If we're able to reclaim 1.25 and BNB is relatively strong and it's a reclaim with volume, then it gets interesting. At this point of time, in my opinion, look, Aster is on my watch list. You can see it to the right here. That's the main level where I'm waiting for a reclaim. Anything under that, not interesting. And I'm also not really interested in prices lower. I really need to see momentum and then I get interested again. And that could be at a bottom or that could be after a reclaim. But right now, I don't see a bottom that's interesting enough. And the reclaim is at 25 cents. So keep your eyes on that. more I don't have to say about Aster at this point in time. It's fundamentally it's a very interesting project, of course, because the fundamentals have increased so much over the course of 1 month, and it's backed by Binance, it's backed by CZ. So obviously, like there's the momentum behind that in that sense. But the same thing as what I said with Zebek, if there's fundamental momentum, the ultimate test is actually seeing that in the price as well. And at this point of time, we're not seeing it in the price. BitTensor, one of the strongest performers over the course of the last month. Ultimately, it's losing momentum, right? So you can see right here, if you take a look at the volume, it's losing momentum. If you take a look at the open interest, we're also losing momentum. If you take a look at the RSI, we're also losing momentum. It's a solid project, but right now, while it's losing momentum, it's not interesting until we break above this trend. I mean, or break above this range. I mean, again, you can see that BitTensor has kind of been ranging right here between 450, 460, and this level right here at 320. And the momentum right now is too low for me to say, I think we're going to break out. All right. So that's why I think buying right now is not a good decision, because essentially you're buying into resistance, right? If you would take a trade on BitTensor right now, the take profit would be at 460, which is the top of the range. There's no indication that we'll break out above that, right? So it doesn't make sense to place your take profit higher. And the risk is dropping down to the bottom of the range. So then you have a risk reward of 0.5. So no, I think it's, if we actually do gain new momentum for BitTensor, for Tau, a breakout becomes more feasible, and then it gets interesting, right? Because then all of a sudden, maybe we can rally into that level at $600. So then it gets interesting, but for now I would just say it's most likely we'll push down a little bit lower. It's bullish right now, but it's bullish because Bitcoin is bullish. I mean, look at this beautiful move in the markets right now. That makes me very happy. It makes me very happy to see. After all those bearish and boring days, finally we're getting some good momentum. But we'll still talk about we'll still talk about Pengu, we'll still talk about XPL, but I hope everyone agrees with me. That right now we have to talk about the markets. So we'll still talk about these in a moment, but right now the market is a little bit too strong. So let's see what's actually strong in terms of volume and in terms of momentum. I mean, here you can see the coins that are performing the best over the course of the last 1.5 hours. WIF is very strong, BOEM is quite strong, Floki is quite strong. So certain meme coins are showing quite a lot of potential. Bitcoin is doing phenomenal, by the way. You can see that you can see down here that the volume is quite good. We're leaving some imbalances. We're going to leave more imbalances, but that's fine. And here it looks like a massive pump, but if you go to the 4-hour time frame, it just looks like a normal move. But this is a good move. Is it also backed by fundamentals? Yeah, somewhat. Volatility index decreasing, gold decreasing, equities rising. This looks pretty good, to be fair. I mean, I don't want to go all out, 100x long everything, but this objectively looks good. I just don't see any news to back it up. I mean, the fundamentals are good. The charts are looking good, but is there any major news? I don't know. Not really. Yeah, gold is falling, silver is falling, equities are rallying, but why? I don't know. We'll see, but so far so good. And you don't always need a reason to rally. All right, this could also be a recovery from the last couple of last week and a half. I mean, the last week and a half, you can see equities have recovered. Equities are almost making new all-time highs. And then if you take a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still trading significantly lower than Friday the 10th of October. So maybe this is just Bitcoin catching up. We don't necessarily need news. And unrest is also decreasing. Oh, nee, Meister, you're not too late. You're right on time, man. Welcome to the stream. Supreme Consciousness, SNX, Synthetics is it has been great to trade, but it's not a competitor to Aster, in my opinion. And outside of that, I think it's relatively late to buy this as well. I mean, this has already rallied a lot. It is still technically bullish, I'll give you that, but it's a very risky, very volatile coin to trade. And in terms of the project, personally, I'm not a major believer. Yeah, Supreme Consciousness, but that's not it. The cryptocurrency conference is not it, unless something major comes out of that. But I haven't seen anything major. It just looks like a recovery for risk on assets. The Russell 2000 is incredibly bullish as well. Volatility in index is decreasing. It looks like a little bit more of a macro move. A macro move. Yeah, stable. We spoke about stable earlier, Onemeister. I spoke about it in the premium feed, of course, already yesterday, but it looks quite good. Volume right now, like one of the main things that I liked about stable. So this is the coin for those of you unaware. The thing I like most about this on Monday is the momentum that we had. After the momentum, we pushed back. We held the 7-day rolling VWAP. So this is actually starting to look better. If Bitcoin is actually able to get into somewhat of a bullish market structure right here, I think stable is going to be something I will position myself in. Don't 100x leverage long stable because of that. I mean, take a look, zoom out. Like this is not a chart you can trust, but the price action has been pretty good. Event is pump. I don't see it yet, Glenn. I don't see it yet. It's possible, of course, but I don't see it yet. All right, what else has volume right now? XRP has decent volume, but it's not pumping. I mean, someone said XRP is no, Joseph. It's not pumping. It's doing good, but it's still near the point of control. PEX Gold. Oster actually is still quite high in volume, so that is interesting. Plasma. Ooh, XPL. We were still going to talk about that. I'm stuck in a position on XPL, so it's great news that it's doing quite well. I mean, the thing also is with XPL, what I saw earlier. Like yesterday XPL, so this is plasma, right? This is like I scaled into this around 70 cents, so I'm down quite a bit on my position. Trust me, I don't only win, but I still think it's a solid project. I mean, I've done a fair share of research on the project. I still think it's solid. I mean, TVL is down a little bit here, but still in terms of the main chains right now, it's still in the top 10. In the top 10 within a month. It has great backing as well. And something we saw yesterday is that yesterday afternoon, we saw XPL, we saw Plasma push down below the range right here, right? With decent volume, but the volume is quite low. I mean, it seems to me that the selling pressure is getting exhausted, which is good news. All right, it seems to me that the supply of XPL that is wanting to be sold off is decreasing. And if selling pressure and if the available supply to sell is decreasing, that's good news for the upside. Like you can also see, and this is good momentum, right? So this I think XPL is ready for a move to the upside of the range right here. Like I covered this 2 days ago on the channel, and there I said, like, do I think we're going to break out of the range for XPL? I said no, and I still think the answer is no. I still think the momentum is too low for me to say that we're going to break out. But I do think it's most likely we'll stay in the range. And I do think it's most likely from here that we'll be able to get up to the top of the range. But that doesn't really mean that much. But what we saw yesterday is we saw that push down yesterday afternoon. But then when the market started to push down over the course of the Asian session today, XPL held its own, which is another confirmation that the available supply to sell, or that the sellers in general are getting exhausted, which is good news. Good news for the price, but it's a little bit early to celebrate. But I do think it's able to remain relatively stable and get a move into that level right here at 45 and 48 cents. But we'll see. I will keep you updated on this. I'll probably make a new update on that, new video updates on that tomorrow. Yeah, Pengu. We'll take a look at that right now. Quite a lot of people are interested in Pengu. I did not expect that. I mean, how many of you are interested in Pengu? Are a lot of you holding Pengu or trading it? Because personally, I have traded Pengu before. I mean, we had a good trade on Pengu in September, but I haven't held it yet. Yeah, my Pengu videos actually do get some solid views as well. Auction, Open Eden, Soph, Nillion, 0G, what more do we have? Stable, Ventus. Okay, Pengu. A lot of people interested in Pengu. Bitcoin pulling back a little bit here, but this is not, it's not difficult. I mean, right now, look, I'm not going to end the stream yet, But just in advance, I mean, if we want a really bullish Bitcoin, we would have to hold this level right here at 111 and 110,800, right? So if Bitcoin pushes down into that level, gets a good reaction, I think we're going up to 114,000. And if we go up to 114,000, in general, that's good news about the markets for the rest of the week. Wednesday is normally a pretty good day for Bitcoin as well. But Bitcoin can pull back all the way into 109.6, and we would still structurally be fine, because like I said, on the higher time frames, this looks pretty good. This looks quite stable. But okay, Pengu, my apologies. I get distracted sometimes. Yeah, so Pengu had a bearish breakdown. Obviously, with the crash, we pushed down into that level right here. We did fill all the imbalances to the upside. That's the good news. But we're still trading under the key level that we have, right? So the key level for Pengu, in my opinion, is this level right here at 2.6 cents. So that's 0.026. I think if Bitcoin is able to continue this recovery, which at this point of time, it seems like we will be able to do that. Although, you know, quick disclaimer, if we get bad news, we can still push down, right? But most of you know that. Most of you already know about the market circumstances of 2025. But it seems quite likely that Pengu is going to be able to push up a little bit here together with the market. But two things. First of all, there's no specific momentum for Pengu at this point of time. Like Pengu, I can probably show you right here. No, I can or not. Pengu BTC on Upbit. Wow. Okay, I cannot really show you. Well, you can see it a little bit right here. Like Pengu against Bitcoin. I mean, this chart sucks, but you can see that it went down. So there's no relative strength of Pengu against Bitcoin. That's the first thing. And ultimately, for me to want to buy Pengu, I would need to see a break above this level right here. And until we have broken above that level, technically, first of all, we are still on the downtrend. And structurally, we have broken down below this balance we had right here, right? And I would love to, you know, long Pengu if we reclaim within that balance. But anything under that balance, to me, structurally is bearish. So then I wouldn't want to long. Then I would like to short, especially since there's no sign of outperforming. Very strong Bitcoin, by the way. This looks good. This looks very good for today, but also for the rest of the week. So hopefully we're not going to get any bad news. Here you can see the coins that are performing well with it. What more has high volume? Useless is gaining some volume. Let me see. Sui is quite strong. Link is quite strong. XPL is quite strong, like I said. Pump.fun is relatively strong. Yeah, Whiff. I mean, so Dog Whiff Hat actually is quite strong. I mean, it's up 6% in the last 7% in the last hour. Ooh, Solana. We just got a Solana alert right here. But isn't it interesting if we... I think it's still within this range. Yeah, I mean, Solana, maybe if we break above this level right here at 205 and 200, maybe. But right now, look, the thing is that you can see right here that I got a pump alert, Cilinix, on Solana, which basically means that the volatility is increasing and that leverage is increasing. That's basically what it is. I mean, this is not some sort of a wizard. This is not dark magic. But then if I take a look at Solana right now, just talking about trading, we have a very strong resistance level at 205 and 200. And we are gaining momentum, but this momentum right here, this volume, in combination with this open interest chart, it's not enough for me to say that we're going to break out. And then the potential reward is 5.8%. The potential risk is 5.2%. And there's not a lot of confirmations that this will continue. So we are gaining momentum. Bitcoin looks the best right now. And we will just have to be patient with altcoins. I mean, look, one of the coins that I like a lot, for example, I'll take a look at the chat in a moment, by the way. I mean, I'm rambling on my own a bit here. Hopefully you don't mind. But the chart I like a lot is Chainlink, right? Chainlink, great project, decent chart. But I still think, like, it seems like the market is pumping right now and everything is rallying a lot. But market circumstances like these are very easy, are very FOMO inducing, right? Because you see a chart like this and you think everything is pumping. And you see a chart like this and you say, well, Bitcoin is pumping with a lot of volume. So you think, oh, I need to buy something. I need to buy something. But trust me, if this would really be the start of a new rally for Bitcoin, you will have some time to scale into positions. All right, so this is not a moment to FOMO into positions. Although I must say that my bias, unless we get bad news, is becoming bullish. So I will, after the stream, I will be looking for some long setups, but I will not FOMO into anything. I will not FOMO into anything unless it has extreme momentum. Right, and at this point of time, I don't see anything yet. I mean, I'll have to do a little bit more research, of course, but I don't see anything with extreme momentum. Zora maybe, useless maybe. Yeah, Zora, we just got an alert. Zora is breaking out here. Here, this is Zora. We got this resistance at 11 and 11.5 cents. This is relatively interesting. This might be a trade I'm willing to take if we do something like this. But again, I'll have to research that a little bit further outside of the stream. I mean, when I'm streaming, I cannot focus as well as I normally can. But this looks quite interesting. So this is Zora. Zora has quite a lot of momentum right here, and also has a fundamental push, by the way. I won't get into depth about that, but there's some positive fundamentals behind the scenes on that. And Useless is also gaining some strength, but this is a strange chart. Yeah. Okay. Very strange chart. It's interesting, right? So put this on your watch list, but this really needs some time to digest. Okay, let me see the comments. What's up, everybody? By the way, if you're new to the stream, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great start of the week so far. Markets are doing quite well. At this point of time, we're having a high volume push by Bitcoin. It looks good on the lower time frames. It looks good on the higher time frames. And we also see some fundamental good news around that, with the volatility index pushing down lower, gold pushing down lower, which indicates that there's less unrest. Less unrest is good for risky assets, such as Bitcoin, but also such as the Russell 2000, which is moving up right here, and equities in general, which are also bullish after the NYO. So that's a bit of a rundown about what's happening. There's no major news as far as I can see that's causing this, although there might be something behind the scenes. There might be something I'm missing. I mean, I'm just looking at one feed right now. No plans for Trump Putin meeting in immediate future. Okay, that's different. Maybe that will change something. I don't know. Well, not so far, but it's very new, 16 seconds ago. But okay, let me see. Tadesh, Linea Coin 10x. At this point of time, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's fundamentally, I like it a lot, but the price action has been so bearish. I mean, I cannot call a 10x on that. And the fundamentals have also decreased a bit. TVL is down from 1.6 billion the 7th of October down to 1.1 billion right now. So solid project, but meh. Glenn, Enzyme, I think Enzyme is just manipulated. I haven't looked at it. I'm sorry, but I try to only look at some solid moves. And Enzyme, in my opinion, looked when I took a look at the chart, it looked too volatile and too manipulated to trade. So I don't have thoughts on that, and I don't want to say anything about it right now, uninformed as well, right? I mean that I can't just look at it and say, oh, I think it looks good, or I think it looks bad. Okay, Apex. Oh yeah, I covered Apex. Someone requested Apex as well. Yeah. So beautiful. I actually said no. What did I say? What did I say on X? I said something on X, I think, about Apex this morning. What did I say? Yeah, right here. If you're interested in buying Apex, this is probably the best chance you'll get. When the price was at 1.09 at that 7-day rolling VWAP. Here, take a look at this, guys. I did not take this trade. I should have, but I didn't. But take a look at this. Can I post that? Oh, that's just a photo. My bad, my bad. Here, look at this. At the bottom. At the bottom I said this is probably the best moment to buy. It doesn't mean anything because I did not buy. But Apex, good move right here, but ultimately on the 4-hour time frame we still have major resistance. So it's it was a good move, but I think it's a little bit more likely that we're going to stabilize right here. And then the key level to watch is 1.4. 1.4 is very much the level to break. But interesting project nonetheless. Rawat, Oster at this point of time, I covered it a little bit earlier if you want to know my full thoughts, but I don't think it's a buy right now. I would place a price alert at 1.25. If we get to 1.25, it gets interesting again. At the current prices, I don't think it's interesting. Trump is meeting China. China dude. Is that already set in stone? And that doesn't necessarily mean much, I think. But it's good news. It's good news. It's better than if they were not meeting. Okay, SNX. We'll talk about SNX real quick, and then I'm slowly going to end the stream, guys. I'm going to do some. I'm going to look for some trade setups. I have to. This is a good move, and we cannot leave this move on the table. So I'll see what coins look good, and then potentially set up some limits on that. But we'll have to see. I mean, there's quite a lot moving right here, but most of it still seems to be very correlated to Bitcoin. So that is also something to be to be mindful of. So okay, SNX price targets last of all. Price targets. Yeah, so I mean, first of all, the equal highs, right? So 2.3. That would be a good first price target. That is also an intraday resistance level. And then after 2.3, I would argue it is 2.7. So 2.3, 2.7. But I'm not telling you that it's going to pump, right? It's just that if we're going to pump, those are most likely going to be the first resistance levels. 2.3 you can also see is the point of control of that move right there. And then 2.7, 2.75 is the next high time frame strong resistance level. And good, yes, we can visit 107,000 again. If we get bad news. At this point of time, it looks unlikely. It looks more likely that we will hold the area around 110,000 at least, and that we're going to get continuation into 114,000, given the current price action and given the current news, or at least the way the charts are looking. But that's it for now, guys. We're going to end the stream. So thank you very much for being here. It was a nice stream. I'm going to try to stream twice a week right now. I've said this multiple times already. I've said multiple times that I'm going to stream more often. I've made a streaming schedule. So if you're interested in more live streams, join the Telegram or the Discord. I always post it in there. But outside of that, I'll also post about it on X, etc. So hopefully I'll see you in there. I will also stream during some better moments, Friday evening or something. That's always nicer. But for now, that's it. So thank you very much for being everybody. Have a great day, and get bullish a little bit more. Get bullish cautiously. That's my advice for now.